This is just a rant. Different phases of hustle. A lot of stuff that I used to do, I just thought it was not that important. And what I mean by that is, like, I wrote goals. Didn't think it was really that big of a deal. I would listen to podcasts. I would go to courses. Didn't think any of this stuff was like really that big of a deal. But now that I'm getting into later years of my life, I'm 34 years old, I'm realizing this stuff is huge. Because first, like with the goals, if you're not writing down what you want out of life, you're gonna get whatever life gives you. So you need to become focused on what do you want. And really this video is called phases because there's different phases to this hustle. And phase one is figuring out what you want, is making a decision, saying, hey, I want to be an author, I want to be a speaker, I want to own investments, I want to own real estate. You have to decide that stuff. Phase 1/phase 2 is kind of like, all right, I'm starting to learn about investing, I'm starting to learn about real estate, I'm trying to learn about these investments. You have to know what you're getting into and make sure that's something you want to do. You have to know what kind of relationships you want to get into. That's phase 1, phase 2. And then really phase 2 is taking that action. You know, I read the books, I did my due diligence, but then I really started to learn how to invest in stocks and invest in stocks. I really wrote down my goals, but then, hey, I want to get strong. I'm going to the gym. I'm investing 10%, 20% of my money. I'm giving 10% to charity. I'm becoming an active member in my community. I'm throwing speaking engagements. I'm promoting on Instagram. I'm taking out my camera and I'm building an audience. I'm getting my message out there. That's phase 2. But then I didn't realize that the things that I was doing here, I thought they weren't that important. But now what's happening is I'm getting into phase 3, where all of these things, all of the money that I've made, all of the accomplishments that I've had, I thought were just, that was it. But no, we're getting into phase 3 to where now you can start, because I was writing my goals, because I was working out, I'm healthy enough to make bigger investments. I'm healthy enough to throw bigger shows and throw bigger speaking events, write bigger books, command a bigger audience, reach more people. So there is bigger stages. So what you're doing in phase 1, you need to get clear. What do you want? And then in phase 2, you need to start implementing and learning how to get what you want, and you need to start taking actions to get what you want. Once you start doing that, then doors start opening. And with those doors opening, you reach phase 3, which is a whole nother level. There's levels to this, as Meek Mill said. And so I hope this is clear. It was just kind of a rant on just the different phases. And so what's exciting is when I was at phase 1, I never really thought about phase 2. When I was at phase 2, I was just putting in that work, head down, and then I look up and it's like, okay, there is another level. And so, but for the first time, I'm just touching phase 3 and trying to figure out how to get in it. I'm learning more about real estate. I have a couple of meetings set up with some real estate brokers. I'm having conversations. Okay, I have X, Y, and Z. What do I need next? I'm having these conversations to get ready to learn what's going to really happen in phase 3. But I promise you, just like phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, I'm going to learn, I'm going to take action, but what's exciting is what's phase 4. I can't wait to share it. So I'm going to keep hustling, I'm going to keep grinding. It's part of the culture. Take care of phase 1 if you want to get to phase 4, phase 5, phase 10. I'm out.